So I said that more real estate wasn't needed for the timers because, oh, sorry, someone texted me. We didn't really need any more real estate for the timers because as you see on the screen, it does show the 4 timers that are the oldest per se. As you input the timers, the oldest fall to the front. So as you see that they just actually cleared out the older timers, and you see the timers that are getting ready to expire, they jump to the front. So it's not necessarily needed for you to see every single timer. We don't have that many products for us to need all this space for that. And you can scroll through it, you can see what is available, and you just don't need it, right? And if you're like well in tune with your business, you know what's coming out. The most important thing is what's getting ready to expire, which is honestly just what's up on the screen. And because it's very rare that you're having 17 products that are coming out at the exact same time, because you have one roller, you have an oven that bakes at 5 to 6 minutes. So at no point in time are you going to have timers set for every item at the exact same time. So it's just not needed. Gotcha. So it's like a rotating timer. And like also, like I mentioned, every item can have up to 3 timers. So, you have your main timer for the oldest product. Then you can hit the plus sign, add something for the newer product. And as you erase that older timer, it's going to fall back in line to where that fresher product falls into the freshest time. So it's not that cinnamon nugget isn't going to sit at the front of the thing. It's going to fall back to where that timer falls into line. A third timer for 30 minutes. So the one above that is probably at 20, I'm going to say probably maybe 17, 18 minutes right now. And the one at the front, you're seeing 29 seconds, 28 seconds before it expires. So once that turns red and they clear that out, the second timer that you see right under the plus sign is going to fall back in line, probably right behind the original and the pretzel dogs. It'll fall right in back of that line. And then that'll be the next one to expire. And then the one that you just hit, once that next timer expires, it'll fall back in line to where that goes. And as it shows up in the 4 main ones that are on the main screen, that's how you need to start remaking that product. So more real estate for that is just not needed. I like the tasks being available at the bottom. When there's no tasks available, we pull up the time clock to see who's, currently on. The reports are always good as well. We also use at the bottom of it, there's like a note section. We because we have that note section, we use that to communicate from our SRU to our inline store. So remember I was telling you how like our SRU, and we have a Signal tablet down there, but we also have one in our inline store that logs into the same credentials. So we see the freshness tablet timers from there to the inline store too. So it's 112-2. And then if they need to like make a note from, like, let's just say they can't get in contact with someone, they'll very randomly like add a note that says like, hey, we're selling more cinnamon nuggets. And then the inline store will be able to see that note being added. And, they'll be able to use that as like a communication device as well. Used the note section before, like at the end of the night for our inline stores before we had the SRU, because Brian, Erica, and myself, we all get the Signal reports the next morning. We would have our managers type in the note section at the end of the night, like pros and cons or goods and bads about like employees, like to call out for the next day, to be like, hey, this person learned how to roll. They did a great job. Could you please give them kudos? So we would read those reports the next day on those emails, with that note section, and we would text that person the next day in a group chat and say, hey, we heard you rolled last night. We heard you did a great job. We just wanted to reach out to you from a management level and tell you how awesome that was, because it's important to just reach out to them and say, hey, we heard about it. We want you to know how great it was. So we do utilize pretty much everything. So that note section is important for Erica to see, Brian to see, and myself to see. If we can all get the same message, we can all give that positive reinforcement.